This is an overview of our soft plastic color cookbook. There's 184 recipes on here. And this is divided out into a couple of different pieces. So on the first one over here you can see we have color list, and this is just exactly what it is. We have our color chart with all the named baits. Then scroll down a little bit and we have some more recipes that don't have a name but that have the major color use, like one here labeled pumpkin seed, a couple labeled motor oil. And then if we scroll down a little further, there's a place for you to put in your own recipes. Now if you click on, for example, bluegill A, it takes you to the bluegill recipes, and you can scroll down and see all the different ones. So that's the first part. You can easily add your own recipes to the list. If you come over here and scroll down to your recipes, if you click recipe A1608, which is just the first blank one, you can fill in your recipe, name it, and then when you click on that recipe, it'll go right to it. So you'll want to rename this, and that's right click and rename. Now let's go back to the ones that are already done. Say culprit red shad, click on that and you can see the box highlights, and we scroll up just a little bit and there's the red shad recipe. So that's the first section. That is if you want to look it up in Excel. If you want to print the book, you can go to the Print Me page. You print the first Print Me tab, and this will print off 3 pages. And the page number for the recipe is to the left. So for example, on pink shade, it's on page 20. If you print off print 2, this will print off 50 pages, and on page 20 is going to be that recipe, so you would flip to page 20. So if you prefer to just use paper recipes instead of having a computer at your workstation, that's what you would use. You can also easily add to this at the end. The last 14 pages is for you to put in your own recipes. The other interesting thing that I've done here is I've given you room so you can make notes on your recipes. So say bubblegum A, you make an adjustment to it, you just write that over here, and then it's in your book. The last thing we have here does require the Excel spreadsheet. It's a calculator. So for example, say we want to double this color, this recipe here, border green. We're going to come over and select it. We're going to, let me do that a little slower. We're going to select it. Then Control C will copy. Go to the calculator. Come up to the first tab. Easy for me to say. Control V will paste. And then we have the recipe. So this recipe requires 4 ounces of plastic, 9 drops of motor oil. Say we want to make that recipe into, say we want to turn it into 16 ounces. So what we would do here is we come over and we fill out the middle part. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see. We go, we want that 4 ounces. It requires motor oil, 9 drops, Dell motor oil, 4 drops, Signal green, 4 drops, and medium or small red flake. So we're going to go red flake, and that's to taste, so we'll just leave that at 0.25. Now we're going to change the normal recipe as 4. So as you can see here, our plastic ounces is 4. So we want to go 16 ounces. So we're going to change this to 4. This changes to 16 ounces, which is the amount we want. Now it tells us we need, whoops, yellow's not in the list. Sorry about that. Now it tells us we need 36 drops of motor oil, 16 drops of the Dell motor oil, 16 drops of Signal Green, and we need a quantity of 1 on the flake, so 4 times the 0.25. So this easily converts our recipe, and if you want an odd amount, you can do that too. Say you want 18 ounces, 4.5. It tells you exactly how much you need of everything. 40.5 drops, 18 drops, 18 drops. So this will easily calculate any quantity that you want of plastic for any recipe to tell you exactly how many drops you need. Over here we have a quick reference. 4 ounces is a 1/4 cup, 8, 6, 12, 16, etc. Teaspoon, a 1/2 teaspoon is 30 drops of color. 1 teaspoon, 60 drops obviously. Tablespoons, and we have fractions, which are most easily used on the flake. So a lot of times the flake people use dash, pinch, whatnot. You can use that to increase or decrease the flake. Now you can also use, if you're any good at math, you can use the increase calculator to decrease the plastic. If you don't want to mess with that, you can use the recipe decrease calculator. So taking our same example, we are going to select the same base ingredients, paste them here, and in this case we want to decrease. The standard recipe is a 4-ounce recipe, and I want to decrease it. I only want to make 2 ounces. So I'm going to split that in half, and now I need 4.5 drops, 2 drops, 2 drops, and 0.125 on the red flake, which is 1/8. So you can quickly see, of course on this recipe it's very small, so it doesn't help a lot. And actually, oh no, you were able to see that, sorry. So this recipe is very small. If you're dividing it, some recipes are very easy to figure, some of them are not. So that gives you a recipe calculator. So you have a hyperlink for every color where you can just look at the color you want, click on it, and it goes to the recipe. You have a printable book where you can make your own notes, which you can also do in the hyperlink section. When you hyperlink, there's a section over here for notes. It's a little big there. And if you click on the link, it takes you back to the top. So say we go to Motor Oil C, and there's Motor Oil C, and if we click on Motor Oil C in this column, it takes us back to all the colors. Makes it a lot easier to look around to get your colors. This also is hyperlinked on the print page, but obviously that won't work once you print it. So there you go, a quick and easy color cookbook that lets you keep track of all your recipes.